The golden age of Hollywood and its aftermath, the new Hollywood of the 1950s and 1960s, were undeniably controversial times in American history. Traditional values of modesty and chastity clashed head-on with a more liberal approach to physical freedom. During this period, certain Hollywood actresses took center stage in the body-positive movement, cultivating scandalous reputations that alienated America's more conservative citizens. Jayne Mansfield. Jayne Mansfield was a woman who loved using her curves to make a living, and she fully embraced her role as a Hollywood bold symbol. While some disapproved of her body-positive attitude, others adored watching her on screen. Though she was an intelligent woman, Mansfield typically played sensual, dumb blonde characters, similar to those played by Marilyn Monroe. In The Girl Can't Help It. In 1956, the film even makes a visual joke of Mansfield's curves when her character holds 2 bottles of fresh milk in front of her breasts. Yet her most scandalous role was in Promises in 1963. In this film, Mansfield appears almost completely nude. This marked the first time a major star had appeared naked in a Hollywood film during the sound era. When she wasn't filming, Mansfield gained more notoriety by wearing specially made bras and clothing, exaggerating the size of her curves. Some of her bras were specifically engineered to suddenly break, leading to still more publicity. By the mid-1960s, Mansfield's popularity at the box office had run its course, so she made money as a striptease, performing in Las Vegas and on the nightclub circuit. Lupe Velez. Growing up in Mexico, Lupe Velez knew she wanted to be an actress after playing the lead role in a musical comedy at a dancing school. It didn't take long for her to achieve her dreams. Following her fiery performance in The Gaucho, 1927, her popularity at the box office climbed with each new picture. By the time she was 19, Velez was already a star. With her flirtatious attitude, olive complexion, dark hair, and curvaceous figure, Velez gained plenty of media attention. One of her frequent publicity stunts was being interviewed in bed, preferably with male reporters from magazines or newspapers. During these interviews, she liked to jump up from under the sheets in revealing and transparent nightgowns. When filming Wolf Song in 1929, Velez struck up a romance with co-star Gary Cooper. It was a hectic relationship, with Cooper finding his partner's physical appetite too exhausting. Velez then married Johnny Weissmuller, the Olympic swimming champion, several years later. The marriage lasted for 5 uncomfortable years, featuring 3 official separations and several public brawls. In 1944, Velez met a handsome Austrian actor called Harold Ramond. This last romance was to be her downfall. Shortly after becoming pregnant, Velez committed suicide, supposedly to avoid the shame of giving birth to an illegitimate child. Mae West. Mae West started her career on stage. Wanting to create a play in her own style, she wrote and starred in a production which was actually called Sex in 1926. Though enjoyed by audiences, the show was shut down due to the levels of obscenity, leading to West's imprisonment for 10 days. This was one of many controversies. Keen to tackle themes like the oppression of women's body and physical freedom, West became known for portraying sensual women on stage and screen. Her characters often wore lavish clothing and spoke in a breathy, feminine voice. Notable films include She Done Him Wrong in 1933, I'm No Angel in 1933, Belle of the 90s in 1934, Klondike Annie in 1936, and Every Day's a Holiday in 1937. Despite how popular these films were, West constantly battled against censorship. Hollywood censors deemed many of her film scripts to be unacceptable for the audiences of the 1930s. Conservative critics were concerned about the number of young women who enjoyed West's work. I'm No Angel in 1933 was so popular with female audiences that there were women-only screenings in some theaters. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was not doubt one of the bombshell of classic Hollywood. She was also one of the most controversial and scandalous women of her time. Monroe was a woman who fully embraced her role as a Hollywood bold symbol, and the public simply couldn't get enough of her iconic beauty. Yet behind her famous breathy voice and dazzling smile was a private life tangled in rumors. When she wasn't causing a stir on screen, Monroe's name filled the headlines thanks to a string of high-profile marriages to baseball legend Joe DiMaggio and playwright Arthur Miller, and her alleged affairs with President John F. Kennedy and his brother, Robert Kennedy. Her sultry "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" performance at Madison Square Garden in 1962 only fueled whispers that the actress was intimately involved with JFK, scandalizing the nation. Beyond these rumored affairs, Monroe's struggles with mental health and substance abuse were frequently spotlighted by tabloids, painting her as a star caught in a whirlwind of pressure. Some saw her as an independent woman unafraid to explore her sexuality in an era of rigid social mores. Others condemned her behavior as morally reckless, accusing her of corrupting the youth. Monroe's tragic and untimely death in 1962, officially ruled a probable suicide, did nothing to quell speculation. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor was a child star who went from sweet kid in movies like National Velvet to full-fledged Hollywood goddess, and she didn't earn that goddess status just for her stunning looks. Taylor practically wrote the book on Scandal. While she was a brilliant actress, known for classics like Cleopatra and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, her personal life overshadowed almost everything she did on screen. For starters, she married 8 times, to 7 different men. That alone was enough to raise eyebrows in the 1950s and 1960s, America obsessed with family values. The list of her husbands read like a who's who of showbiz and society. Hotel heir Nicky Hilton, actor Michael Wilding, producer Mike Todd, singer Eddie Fisher, and actor Richard Burton, whom she famously married twice. The Eddie Fisher scandal, in particular, shook Hollywood to its core because Fisher was still married to America's sweetheart Debbie Reynolds when he fell head over heels for Taylor. The tabloids painted Elizabeth as a ruthless homewrecker, but she shrugged off the negative press, saying she couldn't help it if she fell in love. Her affair with Richard Burton while filming Cleopatra might have been one of the biggest Hollywood scandals of the time. Both were married to other people, and the public outrage was so intense that the Vatican even issued a statement condemning their relationship. It didn't help that the production costs for Cleopatra skyrocketed, partly due to their very public affair, which led to endless media coverage. But Taylor was unapologetic through it all, and when she eventually managed to negotiate a $1 million salary for Cleopatra, it only made her even more notorious. People said she was too demanding, too powerful, and way too fearless for a woman in that era. Still, there was a softer side to all that glamour and chaos. Taylor was known for her fierce loyalty to friends, her unforgettable violet eyes, and her incredible charity work, especially her groundbreaking activism in the fight against AIDS. But when it came to romantic entanglements, scandal followed Elizabeth Taylor like a faithful shadow. She lived her life on her own terms, shrugging off social conventions and sometimes leaving heartbreak in her wake. Talullah Bankhead. Talullah Bankhead was a woman who reveled in shocking the upper crust. Born into a prominent political family, her father even served as Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, she tossed aside the rule book of polite society from the get-go. Talullah loved to party hard, openly discussing her appetite for alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs at a time when such vices were typically swept under the rug. What really stirred the pot, though, were rumors that she took lovers of every persuasion, men, women, you name it. In an era when even a whiff of homosexuality could destroy a career, Bankhead's unapologetic, no-filter approach to relationships was downright scandalous. She treated it all like a grand joke, peppering interviews with outrageous statements that left conservative critics clutching their pearls. Her movie career might not have been as extensive as some of her contemporaries, but Bankhead's vibrant personality was enough to keep her name in bold headlines. Whether she was feuding publicly with other actors, dropping witty one-liners that editors had to bleep out, or strutting around parties with a cocktail in hand, she made sure everyone knew she lived life entirely on her own terms. To many, Bankhead was the epitome of everything Hollywood should avoid: unpredictable, outlandish, and way too honest. But for her fans, that was precisely the charm. By thumbing her nose at societal norms and flaunting her every indulgence, Talullah Bankhead became one of Hollywood's most infamous rebels, shocking, wild, and proudly unstoppable. Lana Turner. Lana Turner was a woman who seemed destined for stardom from the moment she stepped onto a movie set, quickly earning the nickname Sweater Girl, thanks to her irresistible mix of sultry looks and youthful innocence. But despite the glamour, her biggest headline came not from a blockbuster role, but from a shocking homicide. In 1958, Turner's lover, gangster Johnny Stompanato, was fatally stabbed in her Beverly Hills home. Her teenage daughter, Cheryl Crane, took responsibility, claiming she was protecting her mother from his abuse. The subsequent trial turned into a media circus, with reporters painting Turner as the ultimate femme fatale whose tumultuous love life had erupted into real-life tragedy. Although Cheryl was ultimately acquitted, scandalous theories persisted that Lana herself had wielded the knife, or at least known more than she admitted. Many believed the Hollywood system closed ranks around its glamorous star, shielding Turner from direct blame and ensuring that the question of her guilt remained up for debate. While the incident threatened to destroy Turner's career, public fascination with the murder trial only heightened her allure as a star whose private life seemed as dramatic as her on-screen performances. In the end, the Sweater Girl emerged with her legend intact, forever sealing her place as one of Hollywood's most scandalous icons. Barbara Payton. Barbara Payton was a woman who seemed to have it all at first: beauty, talent, and a bright career on the silver screen. Early roles in Trapped, 1949, and Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye, 1950, hinted at star potential. Yet for Payton, the promise of Hollywood glory quickly gave way to a whirlwind of scandals. The biggest uproar erupted in 1951 when she was engaged to Franchot Tone, but still romantically involved with actor Tom Neal. The love triangle turned violent when Neal brutally beat Tone, landing Tone in the hospital and forcing the tabloids into overdrive. In the aftermath, Payton's once promising studio contracts vanished like a puff of smoke. Rumors of wild parties, heavy drinking, and multiple affairs followed her wherever she went, tarnishing her reputation even more. Faced with mounting financial troubles and no studio willing to back her, Payton's life spiraled downward. Eventually, she found herself turning to prostitution to survive. While her story was tragic, it also exemplified how unforgiving Hollywood could be to those who deviated from the era's moral standards. Barbara Payton lived fast and fell hard, a cautionary tale of how quickly Tinseltown could chew up its brightest up-and-comers. Jean Harlow. Dubbed the original blonde bombshell, Jean Harlow was a woman who turned heads the moment she stepped onto the silver screen. With her platinum blonde hair and daring pre-code roles, like the ones she played in Red-Headed Woman, 1932, and Bombshell, 1933, Harlow became Hollywood's very first major hot symbol of the talkie era. Audiences couldn't decide whether to be thrilled or shocked by her playful, brazen portrayals of seduction, but they definitely couldn't ignore her. Behind the camera, Harlow's personal life was just as dramatic. In a scandal that shook Tinseltown, her second husband, producer Paul Byrne, was found dead under mysterious circumstances only a few months after they got married. While some claimed Byrne took his own life, others whispered dark theories of murder and cover-ups. Rumors swirled further about Harlow's alleged affairs, including one with notorious gangster Bugsy Siegel, though nothing was ever proven. Sadly, Jean Harlow's life was cut tragically short when she died at only 26 years old. That early and unexpected death left countless questions unanswered and fueled the Hollywood gossip mill for years. To this day, her name remains synonymous with screen physical appeal, scandal, and a legacy that ended far too soon. Hedy Lamarr. Hedy Lamarr became an instant scandal when she dared to bare it all in the 1933 European film Ecstasy, a move so provocative that Hollywood itself was rattled by her reputation the moment she set foot on American soil. Despite her determined attempts to recast herself as a glamorous leading lady, the tabloids devoured every juicy rumor surrounding her personal life, from her 6 whirlwind marriages to whispered tales of torrid affairs and dire financial straits. In many ways, the press found it impossible to separate the woman from her on-screen allure. To them, Lamarr was a dazzling enigma, a screen goddess who seemed to attract controversy wherever she went. Yet for all the headlines, there was far more to Lamarr than gossip about her love life. Beneath that perfectly made-up exterior lay an intellect that would significantly impact technology for generations to come. Working alongside composer George Antheil, Lamarr co-invented a frequency hopping system during World War II designed to safeguard Allied torpedoes from enemy jamming, a breakthrough that would later serve as a foundation for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi technologies. Unfortunately, in the 1940s Hollywood, a beautiful actress was not expected to be a brilliant inventor, and her pioneering achievement remained largely overlooked. Still, Lamarr never relinquished her quest for deeper recognition, and over time, people began to see her as more than just the most beautiful woman in film. In an acknowledgement that came decades late, she was honored with the Electronic Frontier Foundation Pioneer Award in 1997. Clara Bow. Clara Bow was no stranger to scandal, often finding herself at the center of the Roaring Twenties' most tantalizing gossip. Known as the It Girl of the 1920s, Bow embodied the flapper era's newfound physical liberation, both on and off the screen. Her rise to fame with silent films like It, 1927, and Wings, 1927, captivated audiences who were enchanted by her spirited performances and unapologetic sensuality. However, her revealing outfits, flirtatious behavior, and vibrant party girl image scandalized more conservative viewers, who saw her as a symbol of moral decline. Bow's personal life was even more controversial than her on-screen roles. Rumors swirled about her having multiple lovers simultaneously, a bold claim in an era when female sexuality was heavily policed. One of the most outrageous allegations was that she had slept with an entire football team, a story that, while never substantiated, fueled the insatiable appetite of tabloid journalism. These sensational tales painted Bow as the ultimate femme fatale, a woman who defied societal norms and flaunted her independence in a way that was both admired and condemned. The transition from silent films to talkies proved to be a tumultuous period for Bow. Her distinct, breathy voice didn't translate well to sound films, leading to a decline in her popularity. Coupled with the relentless scandals and the pressure of maintaining her public image, Bow struggled to adapt to the changing landscape of Hollywood. By the early 1930s, she had retired from the silver screen, her career cut short by the very fame that once propelled her to stardom. A rare and lesser-known fact about Clara Bow is that she was the first actress to reach $1 million in earnings, a groundbreaking achievement that highlighted her immense popularity and the financial power she wielded during her peak years. Her legacy as one of Hollywood's first true hot symbols endures, a testament to her influence and the enduring fascination with her enigmatic life. Marlene Dietrich. Marlene Dietrich was no stranger to scandal, constantly pushing the boundaries of societal norms with her bold choices both on and off the screen. German-born and exuding a worldly sophistication, Dietrich relentlessly challenged gender norms through her personal style and film roles. Her iconic tuxedo scene in Morocco, 1930, which featured a same-gender kiss, ignited controversy, delighting progressive audiences while scandalizing conservatives who viewed it as provocative and unorthodox. Off-screen, her androgynous fashion, complete with tailored suits and masculine accessories, fanned persistent rumors about her bisexuality, making her a symbol of physical ambiguity in an era that was not ready to fully embrace such expressions. Dietrich's personal life was equally tumultuous and fodder for endless gossip. She was rumored to have had affairs with numerous celebrities, including Hollywood legends like Gary Cooper and John Wayne, as well as co-stars of both genders, further cementing her reputation as a femme fatale. Her relationships were often the subject of intense media scrutiny, painting her as a woman who lived unapologetically by her own rules. During World War II, Dietrich took a bold stand by supporting the American troops, performing extensively for them overseas. This act of defiance against her German roots was seen by some of her German fans as a betrayal, adding a layer of political controversy to her already complex persona. Beyond her romantic and political escapades, Dietrich was known for her fearless independence and unwavering commitment to her craft. She defied Hollywood's expectations of women, carving out a unique space for herself as both a star and a style icon. A rare and lesser-known fact about Marlene Dietrich is that she was a talented singer who recorded songs in multiple languages, including German, English, French, and Spanish, showcasing her versatility and dedication to her artistry. Her legacy as one of Hollywood's most scandalous and admired stars endures, a testament to her enduring influence and the myriad facets of her intriguing life. Rita Hayworth. The ultimate pin-up girl of the 1940s, while her personal life often stole the spotlight from her dazzling career. Born Margarita Carmen Cancino, Hayworth underwent a dramatic transformation to fit Hollywood's ideal of an all-American star, lightening her hair and altering her hairline to become the glamorous icon known to millions. This metamorphosis not only skyrocketed her to fame, but also sparked controversies about identity and self-image, as critics debated the authenticity behind her manufactured beauty. Her love life was a whirlwind of passion and controversy, making headlines as frequently as her film roles. Married 5 times to notable figures like Orson Welles and Prince Ali Khan, Hayworth's relationships were a magnet for scandal. The media feasted on stories of her passionate affairs and rumored marital infidelities, painting her as both a desirable femme fatale and a heartbroken romantic. Gossip columnists reveled in every twist and turn of her tumultuous romances, often portraying her as the quintessential unladylike star who defied societal expectations both on and off the screen. Despite her tumultuous personal life, Hayworth's on-screen presence was undeniable. She captivated audiences with her performances in classics like Gilda, 1946, where her portrayal of the seductive Gilda Romero became iconic. However, behind the glamour, Hayworth often felt misunderstood, lamenting that men fell in love with the image of Rita Hayworth rather than the real person beneath the glittering facade. A rare and lesser-known fact about Rita Hayworth is that she was an accomplished dancer who trained in classical ballet before transitioning to Hollywood films. Her graceful movements and dance background significantly contributed to her captivating screen presence, adding depth to her performances and setting her apart as a versatile and talented actress. Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner was no stranger to scandal, her fiery temperament and magnetic allure making headlines as often as her stunning performances. With her lush beauty and electrifying screen presence, Gardner quickly rose to become one of MGM's top stars. However, it was her unfiltered personal life that truly branded her as one of Hollywood's most scandalous women. She famously married 5 times, including high-profile unions with Mickey Rooney, bandleader Artie Shaw, and legendary crooner Frank Sinatra. Each marriage was a spectacle in itself, fraught with intense public scrutiny and relentless media attention. Gardner's tumultuous romance with Sinatra was particularly fodder for the gossip columns. Their relationship was a roller coaster of heated arguments, passionate reconciliations, and alleged infidelities, captivating the public's imagination and fueling endless speculation. The media relished every glimpse into their volatile dynamic, portraying Gardner as both a femme fatale and a misunderstood romantic figure. Her boldness didn't stop at her love life. Gardner was unapologetic about her desires, openly enjoying her fame and fortune, while dismissing the era's pressures to appear demure and restrained. Dubbed the world's most beautiful animal, Gardner's nickname was a double-edged sword. It celebrated her undeniable allure while also painting her as dangerously seductive and untamed. To more conservative critics, she embodied everything they deemed improper about Hollywood's liberated women, challenging societal norms with her fearless independence and rebellious spirit. Gardner's refusal to conform to traditional roles and her unabashed embrace of her gender fluidity solidified her reputation as a Hollywood rebel, making her one of the most talked about and admired stars of her time. A rare and lesser-known fact about Ava Gardner is that she was an accomplished painter. Throughout her life, Gardner pursued her passion for art, creating numerous paintings that showcased her talent and provided a personal outlet away from the spotlight. Her artwork remains a testament to her multifaceted personality and her quest for self-expression beyond the silver screen. Veronica Lake. Her off-the-screen life was as dramatic as the femme fatale roles she portrayed in 1940s film noirs. Best known for her signature peekaboo hairstyle and icy blonde glamour, Lake captivated audiences with her mysterious allure and captivating performances in classics like This Gun for Hire, 1942. However, behind the scenes, her life was fraught with turmoil and controversy. Lake's reputation for being difficult on set became legendary. She often clashed with directors and co-stars, creating an image of the temperamental star who demanded perfection and control. This contentious behavior fed into the tabloid frenzy, which also delved into her personal struggles. Allegations of alcoholism swirled around her, painting a picture of a star battling inner demons. Her multiple failed marriages only added to the sensational headlines, as gossip columnists eagerly reported on her tumultuous love life and personal misfortunes. Beyond the realm of personal drama, rumors suggested that Lake had connections with the mob, including unconfirmed links to infamous gangster Bugsy Siegel. These speculations, though never substantiated, kept her name in the gossip mills and contributed to her troubled public image. By the 1950s, Lake's star had significantly dimmed. Financial troubles led her to declare bankruptcy, and she took on odd jobs, including stints as a bartender, a far cry from her glamorous Hollywood days. Lake's dramatic fall from grace only solidified her legacy as one of Tinseltown's most troubled and scandal-plagued stars. Yet, amidst the chaos, she remained an icon of classic Hollywood beauty and mystery. A rare and lesser-known fact about Veronica Lake is that she briefly pursued a career in real estate after leaving the film industry, helping families find their dream homes and reinventing herself away from the relentless spotlight of Hollywood. Bette Davis. Bette Davis was no stranger to controversy, her fiery spirit and uncompromising nature often landing her at the center of Hollywood's most heated scandals. Known for her intense performances and commanding presence on screen, Davis was equally formidable off-camera. Her relentless pursuit of strong, complex roles often put her at odds with studio executives who preferred more conventional leading ladies. This defiance not only earned her a reputation as a tough-as-nails actress, but also sparked numerous public feuds with directors and co-stars. Davis's personal life was just as tumultuous as her professional one. Her 3 marriages were marked by intense passion and equally intense conflicts. Her marriage to actor William Wyler ended acrimoniously, with Davis publicly criticizing Wyler's directing style and personal choices. Her relationship with director Gary Cooper was equally stormy, filled with public arguments and eventual separation. These high-profile breakups were fodder for the gossip columns, painting Davis as a woman who refused to settle for anything less than complete autonomy. Beyond her romantic entanglements, Davis was known for her sharp tongue and candid interviews, often making headlines with her blunt remarks about fellow actors and the film industry. Her outspoken nature sometimes overshadowed her impressive body of work, leading some critics to dismiss her as difficult and uncooperative. However, those who knew her well understood that Davis's intensity was a reflection of her dedication to her craft and her refusal to be confined by Hollywood's restrictive norms. A rare and lesser-known fact about Bette Davis is that she was an accomplished painter. Throughout her life, Davis pursued her passion for art, creating numerous landscapes and portraits that provided a creative outlet beyond her acting career. Her paintings remain a testament to her multifaceted personality and her quest for self-expression outside the glare of the spotlight. Judy Garland. Judy Garland embodied the classic Hollywood starlet with her enchanting voice and mesmerizing performances, but her life was a whirlwind of scandal and personal struggles that captivated the public's attention. From a young age, Garland faced immense pressure from the studio system, which pushed her to her limits both professionally and personally. The relentless demands led to a tumultuous relationship with MGM, where she was often exploited and subjected to harsh working conditions, fueling rumors of mistreatment behind the scenes. Garland's personal life was a roller coaster of intense relationships and public heartbreaks. She was married 5 times, including to iconic figures like director Vincente Minnelli and composer Vincente Minnelli. Her marriages were plagued by substance abuse, emotional instability, and publicized separations, making her a frequent subject of tabloid sensationalism. Garland's struggles with addiction were widely reported, with rumors of heavy drinking and drug use becoming a staple in gossip columns, further tarnishing her wholesome image. Her battle with mental health issues was another source of scandal. Garland experienced numerous breakdowns and hospitalizations, often fueled by the pressures of fame and the stigma surrounding mental illness at the time. These struggles were sensationalized by the media, portraying her as a tragic figure unable to cope with the demands of her career and personal life. Despite her immense talent, Garland's reputation was marred by these ongoing personal battles, making her one of Hollywood's most enigmatic and scandal-ridden stars. A rare and lesser-known fact about Judy Garland is that she was an avid painter and writer. Throughout her life, Garland kept detailed journals and created numerous sketches, providing a glimpse into her inner world away from the public eye. Her artistic pursuits offered her a therapeutic escape from the chaos of Hollywood, showcasing her creativity and resilience beyond her celebrated performances on screen. The Golden Age and New Hollywood eras gave rise to some of the most iconic women ever to grace the silver screen, women whose defiance of conservative norms ignited both admiration and moral outrage. Their lives were filled with paradox. They were celebrated for their allure, yet condemned for wielding it too powerfully. Scandals, whether based on truth, exaggeration, or pure rumor, became part of their legacies. Even decades later, the fascination endures, reminding us that Hollywood's allure has always walked hand in hand with controversy.